You won't believe what you're about to see. These are real moments where logic stopped working and something truly extraordinary happened. Number 45. Coffin Jolt. It was supposed to be a final goodbye, a peaceful funeral. Family gathered around the casket. But what happened next left everyone frozen. As a woman gently touched the body's hand, the person inside suddenly sat straight up. Gasps filled the room, chairs scraped the floor, and hearts nearly stopped. Then, just as suddenly, the body sank back down, motionless again. Some said it was just a nerve reflex, but for those who saw it, it felt like something else, like the soul wasn't quite ready to leave. Number 44. Graveyard Mist. Late one evening, a man sat by his wife's grave, his quiet sobs echoing through the empty cemetery. But at that same moment, security cameras caught something unreal, a soft white mist rising around him, drifting gently over the graves. Scientists later called it condensation, but the locals didn't buy it. They said it was her spirit coming back to comfort the man she once loved. Maybe love really does find a way, even through the silence of death. Number 43. Vanishing Girl. From his balcony in Arizona, a man was filming the cemetery across the street when he saw her, a barefoot girl in white walking slowly between the gravestones. He called out to her. His friends shouted too, but she didn't turn, didn't react, just kept walking. Until she wasn't there anymore. The next second, she was gone. Locals later said a girl just like her had died years ago without a proper burial. They say her spirit still wanders, lost among the graves, searching for peace she never found. Number 42. Eyes in Coffin. A chilling video began spreading online. A woman lying in a coffin, her eyes wide open, staring right into the camera. At first, everyone thought it was a trick of light, until her eyes slowly closed again. People nearby screamed. Some said it was possession. Others whispered about vampires pretending to be dead. The clip ends suddenly. No one knows what happened after. Maybe some mysteries are better left buried. Number 41. Cemetery Scream. It started with strange cries echoing through an Idaho cemetery after dark. Residents complained, so 2 officers went to check it out. Their body cams showed nothing but quiet gravestones until that scream. A piercing, blood-freezing cry ripped through the night, sending both men running for their lives. The search ended there. Some believe it was a lost soul warning them away. Others think it was something far worse. But one thing's for sure, no one goes near that graveyard alone anymore. Number 40. Shadow Slip. He was just a factory worker catching a quick nap during his break, until the cameras caught something no one could explain. A dark mist seemed to lift from his chest, floating above him for a moment before sliding back inside. Right then, his body jerked awake. Doctors called it sleep paralysis, a simple brain glitch. But those who watched the footage felt otherwise. Was it a dream captured on tape? Or proof that the soul really can slip away for a second?
Number 39. Ritual Awakening. At a small funeral in Africa, mourners witnessed something that would stay with them forever. A man began a strange ritual, pressing on the lower part of the body with both hands. Suddenly, the dead man jolted upright, eyes wide, chest heaving, like life had returned. The crowd erupted in screams and disbelief. Some claimed it was staged, others swore it was ancient magic, an old rite meant to wake the spirit, even for a brief moment. Watching that footage, it's hard not to wonder, what if it actually worked? Number 38. Daring Incident. A group of friends thought it'd be hilarious, one of them lying inside an empty grave while the others filmed. But the laughter died quickly. As the guy lay still, his shirt lifted on its own, like invisible fingers were tugging him down. He shot out of that grave terrified, pale as chalk. The video spread fast, with people warning that some graves are never really empty. That dare may have been a joke, but something down there clearly didn't find it funny. Number 37. Trying to get out. The internet lost its mind over this one. A coffin lying on the ground, shaking like someone inside was trying to escape. At first, it was just a small movement. Then the whole box shifted. The person filming froze, too scared to open it. And maybe that was smart. Who'd want to see what was inside? Some called it a prank. Others believed it was a trapped soul, desperate to be freed. Whatever it was, that coffin was moving on its own.
Number 36. Horned figure. It was late at night in a Colorado cemetery when a visitor's camera caught something straight out of nightmares. By a gravestone sat a strange, half-transparent figure with sharp ears and two curved horns rising from its head. Its movements were slow, deliberate, like it was performing some dark ritual. When a car passed, it raised its arms toward the light and then faded away. Locals say the creature was a guardian of the graves, feeding on the leftover energy of the dead. After that night, no one dared step in there again. Number 35. Unsettling movement. Inside a morgue in the Philippines, a security camera recorded something that shouldn't be possible. A man's body lay lifeless on a stretcher until his torso suddenly lifted. For a moment, it looked like a glitch, but then one foot began to move, twitching like it wanted to step off. Moments later, his entire body jerked unnaturally before the footage cut out. Doctors brushed it off as a reflex, but the viewers weren't convinced. They believed that just witnessed a soul fighting its way back. Number 34. Morgue shock. It was just another quiet night in the hospital when a doctor began wheeling a body toward the morgue. Another staff member joined to help, but what happened next turned that silence into chaos. As they rolled the stretcher through the doorway, the body suddenly sat up straight. Both men screamed and ran, leaving the stretcher behind as the security footage glitched and went black. The clip later went viral, with some calling it a rare reflex, others calling it a warning. Whatever it was, no one's forgotten that moment the dead came back to life, even for a second.
Number 33. Empty bed. Hospitals never really sleep, and maybe some of their patients don't either. In Toronto, a security guard making his nightly rounds noticed one bed in the COVID ward moving. The mattress dipped, like someone invisible was lying there. But the bed was empty. Some blamed air pressure, others called it old springs. But nurses working late shifts say this isn't new. They've seen beds move, curtains flutter, whispers in the halls. Maybe some spirits never left the place they took their last breath. Number 32. Unknown creature. Funerals are strange enough, but this one turned chilling when a child pointed at the coffin. On its lid, something thin and string-like was wriggling, almost alive. When the boy reached to touch it, it slipped back inside the coffin like it was hiding. No one else saw it. Only the boy and the camera caught the moment. Later, people said it was just a thread or an insect. But children, they say, can see what adults cannot. Maybe that boy witnessed something that wasn't meant for anyone else. Number 31. Coffin in school. Exploring abandoned places is risky, especially ones with dark stories. A man filming inside an old, empty school stumbled upon something impossible: a coffin sitting in the middle of a dusty classroom. Curiosity took over. He opened the lid and froze. Inside lay something gray-skinned, its mouth slightly open, long teeth jutting out like a beast paused in time. Online, people said it was a movie prop, but the man swore he heard slow, shallow breathing. He dropped the camera and ran, and the video ends there, right before the sound of a faint exhale.
Number 30. Mist from body. In 2017, hospital cameras caught something that still sparks debate. A body lay motionless on a stretcher, and then a faint mist began to rise from it. The smoky form hovered for a moment before fading into the air. Scientists called it lighting or camera error, but for millions who watched it, it felt like something deeper. The moment a soul quietly left its vessel. One short clip that makes you wonder if death really ends everything.
Number 27. Moving coffin. In an Arizona funeral home, the security cameras caught a sight no one expected. A row of coffins sat perfectly still, except for one. It began sliding across the floor inch by inch, as if something unseen was pushing it. There were no people, no wires, no tricks. The footage looked too real to be fake. The staff who saw it later said it felt like a spirit was fighting to escape. That coffin didn't just move, it struggled like it wanted out. Number 26. Face in closet. He was just recording himself in his room, talking to the camera late at night. Then he froze. He felt eyes on him. When he turned his camera toward the closet, his breath stopped. Through the small crack of the door, a pale face stared back. Its skin was grayish, its eyes too dark, too deep. For a moment, it didn't move. Then the video ended. No one knows what happened after, but that single frame, that inhuman stare, still haunts everyone who's seen it. Number 25. Body and spirit. A hospital in California became the backdrop for something truly eerie. In one clip, a man's body lies lifeless on a stretcher until it suddenly sits up, like it's trying to wake. Hours later, another camera in the same hospital captured a misty, human-shaped figure gliding down the hallway. Many believe it was the same soul, caught on tape as it left the body behind. Doctors said it was muscle movement and smoke, but to those who saw it, it was proof of something far greater, a spirit caught between two worlds. Number 24. Morgue escape. In 2022, a morgue CCTV footage shocked millions. Several bodies lay beneath white sheets, the room completely still. Then one sheet twitched. Slowly, a man's hand emerged, pulling the cloth from his face. He blinked, dazed, and sat up, alive. He stumbled off the stretcher and walked out of frame. The internet exploded with theories. Miracle? Mistake? Or something else entirely? Whatever the truth, that moment blurred the line between life and death in the most unsettling way. Number 23. Graveyard encounter. He had heard whispers about a cursed graveyard, but curiosity won. Late at night, he stepped through the creaking gates, his flashlight cutting through the mist. Among the tombstones, he saw her, an old woman sitting alone on a bench, whispering in a strange language. When he spoke, she turned her head slowly, her eyes locking onto his. The air turned cold. He stumbled back and ran, heart pounding. Locals later said he had disturbed a ritual, the kind tied to grave magic. Some said she was real, others said she wasn't alive at all. But everyone who's seen that video agrees something ancient was there that night.
Number 22. Live broadcast visitor. Reporter Sam Hessler was filming a cheerful segment at Green Ridge Cemetery, smiling, professional, perfectly calm, but behind her, something moved. Viewers spotted it only later, a dark figure gliding between the graves, solid yet shadowed, following a deliberate path. The crew swore no one else was there that night. Many believe the cameras caught more than they were meant to. A spirit drawn to the living, curious about being seen. That clip turned an ordinary news story into a ghostly broadcast no one forgets. Number 21. Dark figure. It was supposed to be a fun family outing, laughter, photos, and an abandoned spot to explore. But when they reviewed their video later, the joy turned to shock. Behind them, a tall, shadowy figure drifted across the frame, smooth and silent. No one noticed it in the moment. Paranormal experts later called it a residual spirit, a replay of trapped energy repeating through time. Others said it was a watcher, something that never left that place. Either way, the family hasn't gone back since. Number 20. Final gesture. As mourners gathered around the coffin, something happened that froze everyone. The man inside, still and pale, slowly opened his eyes. For several seconds his eyelids lifted, then closed again, as if giving one last look before letting go. Some said it was just a muscle reflex, nothing more. But his family believed it was his soul's final goodbye, one last sign before crossing over. Across cultures, stories like this are rare but powerful. Maybe for a brief moment, he really did come back, just to say farewell. Number 19. Crying voice.
You alright? You okay? You okay?
It started as an ordinary walk near an old Idaho burial ground until he heard it. A woman's soft sobs drifting through the darkness. Concerned, he called out, following the sound until it led him to a wrecked car by the roadside. Then the crying stopped. The car was empty, no one around. He called again, his voice trembling, but only silence answered back. Later, he posted the video online, calling it the Crying Ghost. Locals said a woman once died in that very spot, her grief still echoing through the night. Whether ghost or echo, her sorrow was real enough to send chills down his spine. Number 18. Mysterious sighting. It was supposed to be just a dare, a fun midnight adventure in an old graveyard. But deep inside, one grave caught their attention. Their flashlight landed on something moving, thin strands of black hair pushing up from the soil, then slowly sliding back in like something alive was retreating. The air turned cold, their laughter died, and fear took over. Next to it, an open grave waited silently. They ran without looking back, convinced they had disturbed something that should have stayed buried.
Number 17. Eyes in the dark. In Pakistan, a group of friends went to a cemetery to prove they weren't afraid. The night was quiet, just whispers of wind and distant sounds. But when they reviewed their footage later, their blood ran cold. Behind one of the graves stood a pale, hairless figure, its glowing eyes fixed on the camera. Paranormal experts called it a rake, a creature said to hunt those who dare to enter its territory. Whether myth or nightmare, those glowing eyes staring out of the darkness were real enough to terrify anyone who saw them. Number 15. The AI filter. A man was just testing an AI face filter, laughing and recording casually. Then, behind him, the door creaked open by itself. He turned. No one there. But the app reacted instantly, tagging a figure in the doorway with eerie precision. It labeled it as an angry woman, approximately 500 years old. The man froze, replaying the footage again and again. Glitch or not, the description was too detailed to ignore. Maybe, for the first time, technology revealed something that the human eye was never meant to see. Number 14. Shadow Child. Two ghost hunters walked through a silent cemetery, their cameras rolling. Then they noticed it. A small, dark figure shaped like a child, standing still between the graves. As soon as they moved closer, it bolted into the darkness. They chased after it, finding only a hollow pit in the ground. When one of them called out, a faint, childlike voice whispered back, Let me see.
Si quieres dulces, dime sí, fuerte.
Moments later, the shadow appeared again, then vanished completely. The hunters left, shaken, swearing never to return. Some say the shadow child still roams there, waiting for someone else to call. Number 14. The grave that pushed. At a funeral, a man leaned forward to place a cross over a coffin, but instead of steadying himself, he suddenly fell straight into the open grave. Witnesses thought it was an accident until slowed-down footage revealed something chilling. Just before he fell, a faint, mud-colored hand seemed to rise from the soil and nudge him. Locals whispered that graves sometimes reject those who disturb them. Experts dismissed it as trick lighting, but believers say that spot was already claimed, and its occupant wasn't done protecting it. Number 13. Forest Spirit. He just wanted proof of what he'd been hearing at night: whispers, footsteps, and movement deep in the woods. But what his camera caught was something far worse. Between the trees stood a tall figure, motionless, with long dark hair and glowing red eyes fixed on him. The clip sprayed like wildfire online. Some said he had filmed a dangerous forest spirit. Others said it was fake, until every single upload of the video vanished without explanation. If it was all staged, then why erase every trace of it? That's the part that still keeps people awake. Number 12. Crying Grave. In 2024, a heartbroken man in Idaho visited his late wife's grave one night and recorded something he would never forget. As he knelt down, faint crying echoed around him. At first he thought it was the wind, but then it grew louder, unmistakably human. The sound came from a nearby grave. He checked, but there was nothing there, just darkness and soil. He uploaded the video online, where some said it was a restless soul crying from beneath. Others said his grief had broken his mind. Whatever it was, he never visited that graveyard again. Number 11. Restless Ground. A quiet cemetery became the center of terror after one video surfaced online. The camera focused on a freshly buried grave, still smooth and untouched, but seconds later the soil began to shift. Slow at first, then harder as if something below was trying to push out. The filmer didn't say a word, just kept recording in shock. Some viewers swore it was a soul trapped alive. Others believed it was something darker clawing its way back. The video ends with the ground still moving and silence that feels heavier than any scream. Number 10. Heartbeat from Nowhere. Late one night, a nurse filmed inside an empty hospital room. Suddenly, the heart monitor beside the bed began to beep, showing a slow, weak pulse. But the bed was empty. No patient, no cables, nothing connected. The nurse froze, whispering that the person who had been there earlier had passed away just hours before. Some said it was a technical glitch. Others believed it was the spirit's last heartbeat, refusing to fade away. Whatever it was, the machine was reading life where none should exist. Number 9. Face by the Tree. A mother and daughter were visiting a grave when the child suddenly stopped walking and pointed. "There's someone behind that tree," she said. But when the mother looked, no one was there. To calm her daughter, she started filming the area. At first, the footage showed nothing, until viewers online spotted it. A pale face, almost transparent, peeking out from behind the trunk, staring right at the camera. Some said it was the spirit of a lost child still roaming the cemetery. The mother never went back. Her daughter still talks about the person by the tree. Number 8. weird hair lift. At first, it looked like a sweet, ordinary video, a little girl laughing, smiling, just enjoying the camera. But halfway through, something impossible happens. A small strand of her hair rises slowly upward, as if invisible fingers were lifting it. There was no wind, no one nearby, and the movement was too smooth to be static. Some viewers said it was a playful spirit. Others blamed camera tricks. But everyone agreed. The moment felt disturbingly real, like something unseen wanted to be noticed. Number 7. Ruth Head. A quiet evening turned chilling for one man relaxing in his yard. He heard faint scratching above and glanced up, only to see a pale head peeking over the roof, perfectly still, watching him. He froze, then started recording. The face didn't move, didn't blink, just stared. When he posted the clip online, people debated whether it was a ghost, a prank, or a trick of light. But even skeptics admitted the image of that silent watcher on the roof was enough to send shivers down anyone's spine.
Number 6. Shadow at Farewell. During a funeral in Nigeria, a man filmed a relative giving a heartfelt speech at the podium. But midway through, something strange drifted across the camera's view. A tall shadow shaped like a person, arms out as if reaching. The video cut out seconds later. Some viewers called it bad lighting, but locals had a darker belief that such shadows appeared to collect the departing soul. Whether superstition or not, many said it didn't look random at all, but like something had truly come to take someone home. Number 5. Cemetery digging. Late one evening, a man walking by a small cemetery caught sight of movement near a grave. Under the dim light, a figure was clawing at the ground, digging downward, not up. He pulled out his phone, trembling as he filmed the eerie sight. The clip soon went viral. Some claimed it was a witch performing a midnight ritual. Others whispered it was a corpse trying to return to its grave. Whatever it was, the footage ends with the man running, the sound of scraping still echoing behind him. Number 4. Witch of New Mexico. Late one night, a couple exploring an old cemetery famous for witchcraft tales stumbled upon something chilling. Among the headstones, an elderly woman appeared, her tangled hair blowing, her lips whispering words they couldn't understand. The woman filming shouted for her to stop, but instead the figure screamed and charged toward them. The footage cuts right there. Locals claimed the cemetery was once used for dark rituals and that this witch still guards its grounds. Even today, few dare to pass by after sunset, fearing the curse that never truly ended.
Number 3. Sudden blink. Deep below Italy, in the Capuchin catacombs, lies Rosaria Lombardo, known as the Sleeping Beauty. Preserved since 1918, her tiny body remains almost lifelike, her face calm and peaceful. But a single recording shocked the world. In the clip, her eyes appear to open, just a slight flicker, but unmistakable. Scientists called it a lighting illusion. Believers called it something else entirely. Over 100 years later, her gentle face still draws crowds, not just for its beauty, but for that haunting question, did she really blink? Number 2. Ghosts March. In 2023, a family driving through Gettysburg battlefield captured what many now call undeniable proof. Their dash cam filmed faint, misty figures darting across the road, shaped like soldiers running in formation. Gettysburg's long history of blood and loss makes it one of America's most haunted places, and countless visitors have heard phantom drums and distant footsteps. But this footage hit differently.
as if the battlefield itself was replaying its darkest memories, refusing to let history rest. Number 1. Cursed House. It started small, soft scratching outside a home, too faint to notice. But then, things turned strange. The homeowner's crucifix flipped upside down. Objects began moving on their own. A porcelain horse figurine shifted, seemingly by itself, caught clearly on video. When he set up cameras overnight, things only got worse. Chairs dragged, doors moved, lights flickered. Then, one final clip showed something no one could explain, a shadow in the bedroom mirror when no one was inside. Some called it haunted. Others said it was something demonic, but the man never spent another night there. If these miracles gave you chills, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more unbelievable real-life moments. See you in the next video.